Jai Hind children. Hope you all are doing fine. So we have already discussed module 1 and module 2 of the chapter Why Do We Need a Parliament. Today we will be dealing with module 3. We have also discussed the functions of the parliament. The first one was to select the national government. Today we will be doing the second one. So the second function of the parliament is to control, guide and inform the government. So the word itself is telling you to control, then guide and then inform the government. We have also talked about the question hour, so which is the time when the people who are there in the parliament or the MPs, the member of the parliament, they ask questions regarding the government policies and the programs. So as the parliament begins with the question hour, this is an important mechanism through which the MPs they ask for any information about the working of the government. This is also very important, through which the parliament controls the executive. I have already told you who is an executive. As the parliament asks questions, the government gets alert about their own shortcomings as to what steps should be taken to make things more better, and they also understand that the view of the people is to be kept in the first priority. Here the opposition, which is the next party which has the majority, also plays a very crucial role in the healthy functioning of a government. They always try to pinpoint the drawbacks of the policies and the program that the government has, and they try to bring or form a type of public support for their own things. If you would have seen television, you would be seeing how the people from the the people from the opposition party, they come forward and they ask questions as to what the government is doing regarding anything. The latest case was the LAC in Ladakh. Thus, the government gets valuable feedback and is always kept on toes by the questions which are asked by the MPs or the member of the parliament. Now, one more thing that has to be kept in mind is that matters relating to finance always has to have the parliament's approval. Anything until and unless it is passed by the parliament regarding the matters of finance cannot proceed further until and unless the parliament approves. Now, the next topic is, who are the people in the parliament? As we all know that the parliament has people coming from different backgrounds. There are many people from different regional parties, people who have till date not got any kind of representation in the parliament are getting chance to come up and sit in the parliament. There has also been an increase in the political participation of the Dalits and the backward classes like the SC and the STs. If you see, there is a table which is given alongside in your book which tells that there has been a gradual increase in the number of Dalits and other people who have come forward and they are participating in the affairs of the parliament. Again, some seats have been reserved in the parliament for them, SC and the STs. This has been done, as we all know, so that the MPs get elected from those constituencies and they become familiar as to things, what is happening there, and they try to bring out their concerns in front of the parliament. Then seats have also been reserved for the women, but till date it is very less. When half of the population of India it constitutes the women, but still in your book it is given only 11% is there, which is quite small if we compare it with the whole scenario. Then there are some burning questions which is always there in the minds of us, like is India truly a democratic country? So I would say, in my opinion, yes, things have been taken care of and the representation of the people is increasing day by day. People try to bring out those leaders or those representatives who can take better care of their own vested interests. and even people are becoming more and more, what to say, they are becoming, they take a keen interest in the affairs of the government. Wherever they find a problem, they try to put out their views in front of the government that these things are wrong and these things have to be taken back. So I would say that yes, slowly steps are being taken to make India a representative country. And this was all in this chapter. If we have any doubt, we will be doing in the Sunday's class. Jai Hind and thank you.